Hey guys, OJ Albina here, and today I'm bringing you guys part 2 of our Renegade Platinum Hardcore Nuzlocke. For those of you who have not seen our first video in this game, first off, what are you doing? Go watch it. And secondly, Renegade Platinum is a super hard ROM hack made by Drayano with a million boss fights, crazy teams with competitive movesets and items, and updated mechanics. Despite it not being my forte, I will be doing my absolute best to complete this Nuzlocke today. No promises though. If you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to drop a like and sub to the channel if you're new. We are within 100 subs of 1,000 and I'd really appreciate if you help us out along that goal. Also, let me know what you think of this type of content. I don't typically make a lot of Nuzlocke content. I usually play a lot of competitive Pokemon, as I talked about in my first video. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if there's anything I can improve on or anything you enjoyed. I really appreciate it. Alrighty, let's do this. We'll pick up right where we left off. We had just been mailing with 0 deaths. Before we head off to take on Crash Wake for our 5th gym badge, we have one very important encounter to pick up back at the Pokemon Mansion. Turns out you get a very special egg at this mansion, and if you hatch it there, it counts as a separate encounter. That special egg is Manaphy. I know some people might think that having a Pokemon like Manaphy is a bit too much for a standard playthrough, but the way I see it, Pokemon like Salamence, Metagross, and Garchomp are just as good in these kinds of playthroughs, and we already are using those. Plus, with the added difficulty of this game, I think it all evens out. So I'm going to take full advantage using Manaphy in this playthrough. After a quick dispatch of Barry and an easy fight and picking up some great encounters like Hippopotas and Pelipper, we can put Manaphy on full display versus Crash or Wake. This gym has permanent rain, and most tend to try and eliminate that rain with Sun to try and make Wake's team a little bit more easy. However, with Manaphy, I plan on using that rain full well to my advantage. Manaphy's ability is Hydration, which heals any status condition it has at the end of the turn, provided rain is up and active. This pairs phenomenally with the move Rest. His lead is a pretty passive Quagsire, so incredibly passive that I can set up freely to +6 special attack and +6 defense with Calm Mind, and +6 defense with Acid Armor, while always making sure to stay out of crit range with Rest. From here, I can OHKO or 2-AKO his entire team with Grass Knot. Easy money. After Cynthia's makes us feed some random pills to Wild Psyduck, which I'm pretty sure is illegal, we can head over to Celestic Town where we have our first of many meetings with Cyrus. This is the easiest team will be, but still a very tough fight for us. I lead off with my Raichu and get put right to sleep with a Hypnosis. I probably should have been Lumberry. I sleep for 2 full turns and take 2 big Sludge Bombs to take me down to just 12 HP. Thankfully, I can wake up and throw off a big T-Bolt to knock out Crobat. The only issue is that I'm Life Orb and the recoil takes me down just 1 HP. Holy crap, that was close. We're not out of the woods yet though, as Honcho comes out next. Knowing I died to Sucker Punch or Life Orb recoil, I switch hard out into Nidoking on a Night Slash that I did not expect. This does way too much damage, and I have to cope with the fact that I need to sack Nidoking to Brave Bird in order to get a free switch into Togekiss and knock out this bird with Moonblast. Next out comes Magnezone, so I have a free pivot into Gliscor and take it down with an Earthquake. Lastly is Weavile, which our thick, fat Restock Azumarill is perfect for, and we take it down easy. On our way out of town, we pick up a Swift Swim Relicanth, and then get a Love Disc on our way to the Pal Park to take on a new required battle versus Castle Valley Derich? I don't know, stupid name, let's just do the battle. He leads off with a scary Gallade into my Togekiss, who can bring the Gallade down into the red with Moonblast after taking a Psycho Cut. After a full restore and another heal, he ends up just switching hard out into Empoleon, which is not something I expected. No biggie though, as this Empo doesn't have Grass Knot, so I can set up super freely with Calm Minds, Acid Armors, then Resto Chesto up and sweep through with Surfs. Easy money Manaphy sweep. Off to Canalave next to take on Byron for our 6th badge, but before that we have to do a few more boss fights in Barry and Ryley. First up, we'll cover Barry. He once again leads off with his Straptor, so we lead off with a Raichu and take it down with a T-Bolt after some fake out chip turn 1. Next up comes Snorlax, so we go hard into Spirit Tomb on a Body Slam and Toxic it as it goes for Curse the next turn. After that, I go right out into Togekiss on another Curse, so I can easily lock it in with an Encore, so that Toxic and Air Slash can chip it down and take it out. Empoleon is next up, so I go right into my Roserade and put it to sleep after taking a Flash Cannon. I then Giga Drain to chip it down until it wakes up and goes for a random Agility. I then try to put it back to sleep, but I miss twice in a row and get brought down to just 18 HP. Just great. I'm not in a great position to switch into this thing, but I end up deciding on pivoting into Blastoise on a Flash Cannon, then into Spirit Tomb to take a Grass Knot. From there I can at least get off some Dark Pulse chip, but I just pop its Citrus Berry, getting it back to where it was before. I decide at this point it's best to sack off Roserade, then go into Lopunny and take it out with Fake Out and Drain Punch. Next up is Breloom, who I can go into Togekiss on and lock it into Force Palm. After a full paralysis, I can then knock it out with 2 Moonblasts due to its Sash. Lastly is Heracross, who I could just take down with an Air Slash. Unless he crits me. Yep. Losing Togekiss is so freaking frustrating, especially to a crit. I wish I could have played around it, but Heracross 2-KO'd my whole entire team at that point, so there wasn't much I could do. Togekiss was an invaluable member to the team that's going to be incredibly tough trying to replace. Thankfully, we take out Heracross with Raichu's Fake Out into Psychic. Arcanine is his last member, which we can take down easily with Blastoise. This fight was a tough one, bringing our death toll to double digits in 10. From one brutal fight to another, Ryley time. This fight starts off well enough. I can take out his Absol with a Fake Out and a Drain Punch from Lopunny. Next up is a terrifying Metagross, so we go into Camerupt on the Zen Headbutt, then hard Pelipper on an Earthquake. We can then 2-8 KO Metagross with a Surf. Ursaring comes out next, but we have a Relicanth who can take this thing on, especially with the rain we just set up. After a Play Rough and a Relicanth, we pivot into Gyarados to take a close combat. Then, we go back into Ryley on a Facade, and with a Defense Drop, a Muscle Band Waterfall in the rain takes it down easy. Lucario comes out next, and I realize I don't really have a switch into this thing, especially after Gyarados took that chip for Ursaring's close combat. Looking at calcs, Earthquake was a roll in my favor to knock out the Lucario. It was about a 62.5% chance to be exact. So, with a prayer up, I throw off an Earthquake and... of course, we don't get the roll and get rocked by a high jump kick. It goes down to his life orb at least. We go into our Gyarados as he goes into slacking, and we stupidly decide to go hard Lopunny and get punished with a Body Slam para. No idea why I made that play, as I can go right back out into Gyarados, realizing I can always avoid the slacking with bounce turns by being in the air the turns it's attacking, and coming down on its loafing turns. Once slacking starts slacking off, I take this opportunity to start Dragon Dancing up, and from +2 I can suit to the slacking, and to Salamence, grabbing a nice win after some shaky play with our Lopunny. Losing Relicanth sucks, but I realistically didn't have a better play in that instance. Byron was next, and as hard as Drayano tried, he still sucks. It's just really hard to make a Mono Steel type team work. As bulky as they are, they tend to be pretty passive and slow. My plan was pretty simple. I led off with Camerupt once again and clicked Rocks turn 1. This was able to break the sash of his Aggron in the back. Turn 2, I pivoted Pelipper to stop the rain. Bam, setup complete. Here, I do exactly what I did against Crasher Wake. I set up a ton of Calm Mind and Acid Armors while resting to stay healthy and out of range of a crit. From there, I go everything with a +6 Surf. Maybe next ROM hack, Byron. We head off to the library to meet up with Dawn, the Professor, and Barry, and Team Galactic sets off a freaking bomb in a kid's game. Jesus. Goodness. As to show how messed up the Pokemon world really is, they sent us to the lakes to investigate these bombies. May I remind you? 10 years old. Thankfully, I'm the most badass 10-year-old there is, so I head off to the next lake, where the bomb detonated. We head into the cave of the lake itself and see Commander Saturn. We can't just let him get away with this, being the 10-year-old vigilante we are, so we take him on. I lead off with my Spiritomb to Alakazam, who actually can't hit me in the slightest, being that his only coverage moves are Psychic and Fighting type. Thinking I had free setup, I click Calm Mind, but Saturn actually ends up switching into Octillery. I take a big Hydro Pump, but then knock it out easy with a crit Shadow Ball. Next up is Rhydon, so just to be safe, I pivot out into Torterra on an Earthquake, then into Manaphy on a Mega Horn to take it out with a Surf. Next up is Toxicroak, which can be taken down pretty easy by Gliscor. Last up is Bronzong, who gets rocked by Camerupt for about half health, and then we pivot into Torterra on an Explosion, as we can't get crit. Lastly, out comes Alakazam, who just spams Calm Mind, so we switch into Spiritomb and take it out with some Shadow Balls, so we get an easy win. Next off, we take off to Lake Verity, where we find a bunch of Galactic Goons and Commander Mars, who isn't going to leave without a fight. I lead off with Raichu and stupidly fake out the Inner Focus Crobat as it gets off a free double team. No biggie though. After missing one T-Bolt, we connect with the second and take it right out. Next up is our Kangaskhan, so we switch into our Fizdev Demon and Hippowdon. We can even survive back-to-back crits from Double Edge and start stalling this thing out with Slack Off until it goes down. Pergly is next, which we also take down with the conjunction of Toxic, Slack Off, Earthquake, and Sandstorm Chip. Yanmega is next, and it is terrifying, so we go out into our Scarf Typhlosion and take it down with a Flamethrower. Last up is Bronzong, who meets the same fate. Before heading towards the next gym, we have some quick housekeeping to attend to. Grabbing the encounters are skipped in Steelix and Iron Island, and a static Gabite in the back of Wayward Cave. At this point in the run, I'm feeling good. A little too good. I start playing a little bit too loose at this point. Up to this point, I'd been checking the game documentation for trainers, and been taking the game pretty slow. That stops here though on Route 217 versus Ace Trainer Olivia. The battle starts out easy enough. I take down a Shiftry with Typhlosion, then out comes Blissey, so I go hard Metagross. I decide to get off Rocks, thinking it can't really touch me, but unfortunately, goes right for a Flamethrower. Knowing this would 2-hit KO me, I pivoted into Salamence, then into Manaphy to scout for Ice Beam. After taking Hyper Voice, I figure I'm safe to go Pelipper to set up Rain, and I get caught with a T-Bolt and die. I cannot believe I lost my Rain to a Blissey. Pelipper was incredibly valuable this run. Dumb thing is, I could have just gone to camera up like I did before, but oh well. From here, we take down his Altaria as well, but at the cost of our Pelipper. Remember how I said I hate double battles in the last video? Well, it's time for our regularly scheduled program of Owen can't double battle. Before we take on Candace, we have to do a required double battle against some Ace Trainers in front of Snow Point Temple, and they have some big time threats. We lead off with our Salamence and Staraptor into Heracross and Blissey so we can grab a double KO with close combat and fly. While Mence is in the air locked onto Heracross, Meganium comes out, which we take down with a Brave Bird from Staraptor. On the double down, our Ace Trainer adversaries send in an Intimidate for Alligator and a Tyranitar. Uh-oh. No combination of two Pokemon on our team really takes us on well. I end up pivoting Azu and Manaphy, but due to a crunch crit from Gator, it gets way too low and I have to switch out. At this point, I need a free switch, so I sack off my Staraptor to get an Intim off as Azu gets off some Waterfall Chip on T-Tar. With this free switch, I go into Metagross to get off an Iron Head to kill the T-Tar, but ends up protecting, so we have to take a strong punch from Gator. Then the next turn, for God knows why, the T-Tar goes for a double protect and gets it? No shot. We have to take another crunch, so we're chilling at half health now. The next turn we get an Iron Head off, but since we took 2 crunches prior, we die from a crunch into a Fire Blast. We take down the T-Tar with Azu, but this was insanely frustrating. First I lose my Pelipper to a dumb mistake, and now my Metagross to dumb RNG. That's 2 Elite 4 potential Mons gone in the blink of an eye. Thankfully the last Mons in Typhlosion and Feraligatr are pretty easy to take down. Alright, time to check this off. No more mistakes, no more deaths. And definitely no losing your Infernape to a random gym trainer. Nope, nuh-uh, not me, definitely did not happen. Okay, let's take on Candace. For this fight, I lead off with Camerupt into our Abomasnow and take a strong EQ to set Stealth Rocks. From here, I pivot an Umbreon to take a Blizzard. This play was solely to make sure that Abomasnow did not EQ, so I get a free switch into my Typhlosion and take it out easy. That Adaptability Flamethrower probably killed about 47 Abomasnow. An entire forest's worth. Next out is Walrein, and this is my shot. I go hard into Manaphy and start setting up. After a ton of stalling, we eventually get up to +6/+6 with the Rain Up and take down the Walrein. From here, it's an easy sweep with Surf, taking out her whole team after Rocks. This battle seems like a perfect place to end the video. We didn't play terrible or lose any Pokemon, which is a high note, and it's a nice calm before the storm. In our next and final video, we will have to take on Team Galactic and Cyrus at Spear Pillar in one of the toughest fights of the game, the 8th Gen, and of course the Pokemon League. If we can make it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was a ton of fun making. It's a little bit shorter than our last video, but I really wanted to have like the final video be a big, chunky, wungy, big guy with, you know, the final Elite Four fights and, you know, the Cyrus fights and all that stuff. So I think that video will be a lot of fun. Definitely let me know what you guys enjoyed about this part of the video. I know we're a little bit sloppier with our playing this part of the video as well, but you know, it's really the end game now. We gotta just kind of tighten it up, and hopefully we could take home the, I almost said the title because I'm used to playing competitive Pokemon. We could, you know, win the Nuzlocke, which would be obviously a lot of fun because I'm having a lot of fun with the series. Let me know if you guys enjoy. I also have a Radical Red stream, I've been streaming Radical Red over on Twitch. You can check me out in the description below. I've been doing my run over there, and eventually, if we do end up beating that game too, we're pretty deep right now, that'll be uploaded as VODs over here, like cut down VODs into like one big giant video, which will be a lot of fun. But yeah, thank you guys again for watching. Again, if you enjoyed, drop a like, sub to the channel, drop a comment. I would really appreciate it a ton. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.